Welcome to our podcast, Growing Give and Take Kids, Power Traits for Life. This program is brought to you by Victoria Kindle Hodson and Mary Emma Willis of Reflective Educational Perspectives. They are founders of the Learning Success Institute and Solimar Academy Independent Study Program. They are also co-authors of Discover Your Child's Learning Style and Self-Portrait Power Traits Assessment. Their mission is to give parents and teachers the tools to empower kids to thrive in the real world by focusing on their strength, or as they call it, power traits. Please visit powertraitsforlife.com or reflectiveed.com for more information. You can also check out learningsuccessinstitute.com and solimaracademy.com.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Mary Emma Willis. Victoria and I are excited to be launching our podcast, Give and Take Kids, Power Traits for Life. I will be presenting this first episode titled, What are Give and Take Kids? What are Give and Take Kids? And what does it mean to grow Give and Take kids? Here's our definition. Give and take people know how to give and take respectfully and graciously. They are grounded in who they are. They know their strengths and weaknesses, and they're confident about their abilities and their contributions to the world. Because of this, they are kind, generous, flexible, interested, and engaged. They communicate their feelings and needs in respectful ways. They can work cooperatively in groups, and they are able to take responsibility for their own choices and actions. By the way, when we ask parents what they want to see for their adult children, these are the same attributes they come up with. We asked this question in workshops and seminars across the U.S. and in other countries, and we always get these same responses. Then the question is, how? How do we do it? What are the secrets to growing give and take kids who then become give and take adults? First, we need to consider the number one key for anyone of any age to thrive, and that is safety. We're not just talking about physical safety, but also emotional and learning safety. Knowing they are safe is what allows children to grow up with healthy bodies, brains, emotions, and attitudes about life in general. I'll say some more about safety in a few minutes. Secondly, we need to honor and encourage our kids' strengths, their talents, interests, and all of their unique gifts and contributions. Thirdly, we need to provide our kids with models, experiences, and interactions that reflect what a give and take person is like. And we need to start when they are young. In other words, in order to become people who are kind, generous, engaged, etc., kids need models, people they can observe who show kindness, generosity, and engagement. And they need to experience being treated with kindness, generosity, and respect from others. They also need to participate in interactions that demonstrate kindness, generosity, flexibility, respectful communication, and the other attributes I mentioned earlier. Now, going back to the idea of providing a safe environment, if kids live mostly with these types of models, experiences, and interactions, and their strengths are celebrated and encouraged, they will feel safe. This is an environment in which they can thrive and develop give and take attributes, what we like to call their power traits for life. Now let's talk about what can disrupt this process. Fear, anxiety, and stress produce very different results. These emotions can cause people to feel insecure and vulnerable and become timid or pessimistic or rigid. Instead of the give and take attributes we've been talking about, These emotions often lead to reactions such as defensiveness, aggression, depression, anger, resistance, fighting, blaming, discouragement, and low self-esteem. And fear seriously affects and often prevents authentic learning from taking place. Now let's talk about school. Whether your kids attend traditional or homeschool, it's a huge part of their days and their lives. It is often in the school environment that fear, anxiety, discouragement, and stress first appear. Kids are judged so much by how they do in school. The self-images they develop while in school stay with them and affect their whole lives. If you learn growing up that you are not very smart, not good enough, have nothing to contribute, that you're a failure, then you grow up believing that you are damaged goods. Here are some common statements our kids hear from teachers or parents. If your spelling doesn't improve, you can't be on the team. Well, those are great ideas, but your writing is so messy. You need to be more responsible and study harder. Well, finally you got a B. Let's make it an A next time. Well, you knew that word yesterday. Why can't you remember it today? You're not trying hard enough. No playing outside until you finish your homework. If you don't take school seriously, you'll never get anywhere. Believe it or not, this last one we've often heard said to preschoolers. So, do these comments instill confidence? No. The message is, it's never good enough. I'm never good enough. Will these comments motivate students? Mostly the message they receive is, why should I even try? So why do we make these kinds of comments? We're worried, we're scared as parents and teachers. We think our kids will want to do better if we say these things. But actually, it has the opposite effect. These kinds of comments create an unsafe environment that produces fear or anxiety or stress or all three. When humans feel these emotions, the message they perceive is, I'm not safe here. Now, thinking, reasoning, and learning take place in the frontal lobes of the brain, the learning zones. And under conditions of anxiety, fear, and emotional stress, these learning zones, the frontal lobes, automatically shut down. The learning zones shut down because the brain associates the emotion of fear with danger. When we perceive danger, the brain automatically shuts down unnecessary functions and prepares us to fight, flee, or freeze. This is referred to as a downshifted state. In this state, learning is very difficult. It's estimated that 30% of the nation's children come to school in a downshifted state. Now, a study conducted several years ago showed that more than 95% of kindergartners feel good about themselves. And yet, more than 98% of high school seniors do not feel good about themselves. So what happens between kindergarten and high school to shut down so many students? Well, too many of them have learned that they're not smart enough, good enough, responsible enough. In other words, they must be damaged. With this kind of discouragement and low self-esteem, a child or adult becomes focused on self-protection from the perceived dangers in order to minimize fear, anxiety, and stress. In this state, it's very difficult to be a give and take person. So how do we ensure a safe environment and keep the learning zones open and in business? Not only for school, but for all learning and development, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. An environment that allows kids to thrive and become give and take people. We believe the best way to begin on this path is to apply the C.A.R.E.S principles. C is for celebrate your child or student. A, accept your role as your child's or student's coach. R, respond rather than react. E, expand your view of what motivates your child or student. And S, switch on confidence in your child or student. In the next episode, Victoria will talk about the first C.A.R.E.S principle, celebrate your child or student. In future episodes, we will cover the other C.A.R.E.S principles as well as more on Power Traits for Life and how to create home, work, and school environments that grow give and take kids.